Welcome to another video of Max Hotbox. In this video I want to start like a user who's just new to Max Hotbox. So I kind of just downloaded it, and to start it I just drag and drop the Max Hotbox file into the viewport. And you see after a short loading time, short more or less, you will see a new menu item appears on top. Here I can enable and disable the Hotbox globally. I can open the script folder. I can show the editor. I can visit the website. This is andreasmeisner.net/maxhotbox. I can watch tutorial videos on YouTube. A tutorial video is something like this right now. Or I can open the help file to get some information about the Max Hotbox variable I can use in scripts. And I can restart and shut down Max Hotbox. So for now I want to go to the editor, and the tree is right now empty. So we want to create something like the Hotbox in Maya. So when I hold down the space key, then a set of buttons should appear. So I'm going to add an action to show our layer and add a layer over here. So this is our show Hotbox action, and this is our Hotbox. So how should it work? I want to use a hotkey, and I want to use the space key. So what's up over here? When I hold down the space key, the action goes in. So when I press the space key, I want to show every child layer of this action. Every child layer are these layers over here that are attached to this action. And when I'm releasing the space key, I want the layers to be hidden. So releasing the space key, the action goes out, and I want to hide the child layers of this action. So space key down, action goes in, space key released, action goes out. And this will show and hide our layer. Now to try it, I want to add some simple button to our layer, and I'm going to switch to work mode. And now I'm going to play around with the space key, and it works. So to the layer properties, I could align the layer either to the 3ds Max window in the left, center, right, top, middle button, wherever I want, so in the corners or in the middle. Or I can also align it to the mouse position, so the layer will always appear around my mouse or relative to my mouse. So when I'm switching to work mode, I see it will always appear at my mouse position. Back to my button. What would be useful for now? Maybe let's choose the extrude command. Extrude is something you use pretty often in 3ds Max while modeling and stuff. So this is our extrude button, and I got another action over here which should be triggered when I'm left click on this button. So I'm choosing on button click, and I'm gonna choose a left click for this button. I could also use a control left click or whatever, but I'm gonna use a left click. And what should happen when I do this? You get to choose it in this list over here at do. So I could either run a macro, but the list of Max Hotbox, this macro list is not equal the 3ds Max macro list, because not every macro in 3ds Max is really a macro. Some of them are just actions that we got to catch with the macro recorder. So I'm gonna use a script over here. When this action will be triggered, I want to run a script. So I'm just gonna catch the extrude event. So I'm gonna enable our macro recorder over here, and now we're gonna perform. First gonna switch to the poly mode, so subobject level is 4, and I'm gonna extrude. Alright. Now these are the commands that I need to use. and I can copy paste this in our script. So I'm gonna edit script and I'm gonna place my code over here. First I make sure if set object level is 4, so if the sub object level is polygon mode, then I'm gonna extrude the face, and button up is the button in the right command panel over here, and I'm gonna chain use an extrude amount of, let's say, 20. So this already looks pretty good, and our script should work now. And let's try it. Macro recorder is disabled, and we can now play around with our script. So I hold down the space, action goes in, layer will be shown, and I can left click on it, and our do command will be performed, our script will be run. Alright, what other cool tools could we add to Max Hotbox? Maybe another button to connect two vertices. This is something you maybe use pretty often as well. So we're gonna add another button, and you see I can dock the buttons on each other. I can also group them if I like, to move them together. And I'm gonna set up the action that will be performed, just like the action for extrude. So I'm gonna pick the left click event again. So when I left click on my button, then I want the script to be run, and this will be the connect script in this time. So run script, and now I need to catch the action that will Max Hotbox 3ds Max perform to connect two vertices. So I'm selecting my vertices and choose connect. So this is the code I need, and I can go back to Max Hotbox and edit my script. And now I'm saying if the set object level is vertex, then connect vertices. Alright, this should already work. So let's go to work mode, and let's select two vertices and press connect. Alright, so maybe this extrude hive is a bit too much right now. So let's maybe go back to edit mode, and we get this left click on this extrude button, but we could also add a right click. So let's name this R for right, and on button click, pick event, I'm gonna right click. I want another script to be run, and I'm gonna copy the script that I got over here, and I will put it in this right click script. But at this time I want it just to be extruded by the amount of 10. Back to work mode, and when I left click on extrude now, then we get an extrude of 20, and when I right click I get an extrude of 10. Alright, what other cool tools could we add to our hotbox? Maybe a bridge command. Bridge to connect two faces. So we got another button over here, and we have to catch the bridge event from the macro recorder. So I'm going to polygon mode, set object level 4, and gonna bridge something. Bridge. So I'm gonna copy that code and going back to Max Hotbox. Again, I'm gonna left click on this button and I'm gonna run a script, and I'm editing the script and saying if sub object level is 4, so we are in the polygon mode, then bridge selected. I'm using the macro recorder to catch every event over here, but in versions before 2011 of 3ds Max, the Max Hotbox will kill the macro recorder, so you don't get any output over in here. So if you're on 3ds Max 2009 or something like that, then you need to open two instances on 3ds Max and catch the macro recorder output in the instance where you didn't start at Max Hotbox yet. So the macro recorder is still alive in this version. So this should be ready, and let's go to work mode and let's bridge something, extrude and bridge. Okay, works pretty fine as well. So what else could we do? I would like to switch my perspective, my kind of viewport, with some mouse gestures. So how to switch the view? Going back to the macro recorder and enable, and we're gonna look at how 3ds Max will change the perspective. So we go to left and we go to right. Okay, so we're gonna copy this right view over here. This is the command we need to perform to go to the right view. So copy, going back to Max Hotbox, add a new action, and I'm calling this one right view, and I want it to happen on mouse gesture. So enabling the mouse gesture event, I'm gonna pick the event and I want to use the side button of my mouse. This is the mouse 4, and I wanna use the I wanna drag the mouse to the right side. So I got the mouse gesture set up, and I want to run a script.